bet me aton tomatoes wherever that you say unton. But say tomato no every Burkina Faso any north back in Krandia and say enko has back because enye it's for bulk breaking because nipa every nungwa every amasama all the main markets so Uber talk echo other markets now go there and go and sell and buy so that ubetime the echo other markets no yes yeah there's just one group of people now omo abobloshi na omo ha adwen kakra but the police won so alcohol the na asio sell you bet me because and it's not some of them things like yeah punishi obia no we are not in normal times these are drastic decisions now you take to make sure say we will decongest the city center.
Honorable who can say me till the when you say you know you need normal times
sure
it's not say you mo bi no wo ho a baby etie and baby eba adwuma de sese ye nyina no edoso ye pa onipa na odidwa na ono ewo abuburuchi owa ye de ko house park ensihye ben ye ma ye kan say mon ko house park nkoto mo nema ana den na mo ye de boa wo mo their safety first
sure
kan say ye ne binom di nkomo omo so bedu saa eho no mo no akronfo go bebre normally no ntosi na ba na adwene ahomache nti ahomache na ono kwakoto no ntosi no akronfo gina etwen no nti no otumi nkonta asa otwen a ma wiem tete ansa saa time so no na ma nipa ya ba bebre na ama enti ede na mudi gu akwan mu a
that is not the case I mean yeah those omuton ade ewo market na edi omu na eye adwuma ewo their safety is also very paramount to us because at the end of the day yes we just cancel ewo more nti we cannot say ye ma akonfo ebe attacki obi a
say enyemo na boba na mo na akonfo no ho nti the little loophole na akonfo no benya no
so the first thing yes the Colleclote assembly because some of the areas I follow under Colleclote. In fact, House Park falls under Colleclote. So the Colleclote assembly first of all put up street lights just to make sure say you benya lights in fact, and you say you buga assembly you sure move several times and they even agreed on this arrangement say you bet me a bulk breaking activities and yet onunkwa because you say about 15 years ago, na say yen relocate market from Agbobloshi to Ajinkotuku. It's all because of these bulk breaking activities. Because bulk breaking activities no a congestion so eba market no. Inti what about the yam for? Uko onion for so on them. You see, these are the things now who prepare anytime unanti ewa Agbobloshi oba who say Agbobloshi are very congested. As I speak to you now, we want to fence off the market. So that it must separate the trading activities, so that street no so.
Mo be separate e dey e wo hin Agbobloshi. Mo chemu wo kwan be so be chemu se na be ya adwadie no.
You know when you go to Agbobloshi, there's a market. But sometimes trading activities e wo nkra. Wo ko koto ade. And say unko market no koto ade. But who say obi e ton bibi e wo
me di dwa ho pa
ebi e ton bibi e wo ekwan no nti unanti e ko inside ube gina ekwan no e na eto ade nti those inside the market who have no more shops any bibi people don't come even inside the market na on beton ade no so you have to make sure say obia enko market so but this time we are not in normal times to be able now obeye sa asem no because you want to decongest now be anya space, So that is not the kind of arrangement. But the fourth protocol be person mean can one sem. Now boapa your nose mask na obia share the nose mask no CCR. Now you launch where your nose mask campaign. And I share about 10,000 pieces of the nose masks. Fortunately, now the Regional Security Council of the Greater Accra region also no say and say and yeah by force e won can say who call any public space and say who share nose mask no today I can say unanti e won can you will see said it's about 80 to 85% compliance say obia enanti e won can na o share baby. We have different types of nose masks now obi a share but at least when we say obi cover the nose any ni mouth so that obi prevent the spread of the disease either ono na obenya ana or the member obi ewo inti enu ebeye something that I must applaud the people of Accra say omo aji atum pa. But in addition to all these things yema Veronica bucket bebre ewo market nu na obi anso onru nsam ye hu say o ebia nso to connect to all because the market is very big and you need to be making sure say nipa bebre no bo market no be rooms and there and say every time the bucket is full of water. That is very important. Yenya 1,000-liter water tanks GCB bank omo be chair bi na ye de ko market nusu and there so European Union for almost another bucket we see the barrel but that one you use paddle nine nti touch it baby they call Maprobi Polyclinic Kaneshi Polyclinic any Washer Clinic nti we are trying to make sure say despite our mega resources na yenma obia some access na onye baby na be. Let me say our major challenge now is in the local communities like Buko, Choko. You know, over there, naturally, the way now, you go about doing our normal duties now. We are already congested, very crowded in our area. So this is where we are now trying to intensify our education. I must say, and not to mention communities where we have the numbers, but as a matter of fact, the numbers in those areas, including Old Fadaman, are going up.
Necessary COVID-19, no, sa areas no ekoso. Ye kan nyina no. Se mo boa, se de be betumi ahwe na safi be educate wo mo. Education aside, onipa na ha note. Biblioteca no, enipa 12 na one room. Oni sko be kokko han dan. Enti ye dan asa wo educating se dan a sa dan na nipa 12 team no e hwa no beko. E de ne ye dia fa ho. So
that's why I'm saying sir just one protocol but the nose mask now we share because at the end of the day it is not just the social distancing because that was being done when we were not promoting the nose masks. Sisia we share nose masks no bia say obi wo bia na enka wo nti ubetimi ni no akọ na ba because sometimes you refi kakra but you who say even the nose mask la omunhye nti sisia eyenu na yesu ye boabo mu kakra na obi an steady na onhye bi onni bi kra yusu handkerchief ene ebihie na me kọ ho a who say ejina omu na mi mu akasa obi mu omu handkerchief omu yiye because it is practically impossible say yebema obia nose masks. I said that we shared over 10,000 just a couple of days ago. Coastal Development Authority omuko share over 70,000. The central government omusu omu yebi. You take another consignment every district assembly common fund. Na nsu ye kwa share. Inti we are doing our possible best, but the numbers in Accra does not permit us to share nose masks Emma Obia. Now this year, through the ingenuity of Ghanaians, the tailor for any dressmakers for Omuntina na Omunyeshia. This year, Obi Bia produce nose masks be Omuton 1 Ghana, 2 Ghana, 1 Ghana, 2 Ghana. It's about your life. Buy it and wear it. And that is why buy any public place. And let me commend the Greater Accra Regional Police Command. Say, since this time around, or more around, back from CMB ho, back from Kingsway ho, back from Tudu ho, Omujina ho, unshebia, obemama ubi, watobi, eshe, unshebia, back into the central business duty. They will ask you to go back. And these are commendable things na police nusu ye na omubebwa. Because in all these enforcement is key. And the police has the mandate to do the enforcement, and that's why we are applauding them. But we want them also to take it to some of the communities as well, so that we can enforce it more. Because
sometimes police in be adwuma. Ko be adwuma no be wi no, okon be fa so bia onipa be resist. Say 1 or 2 or 3 nti no mempene na police ni ye so ye na adwuma no I don't know obechi onipa no wo chi onipa de kwa e bia na assemblyman bi o ba bi party pani bi o ba bi no akaso o we de jana man nko enteru ba bi a police no yesi koye adwuma no enso na nsagu na chi.
Look, the policeman himself knows that we are not in normal times. The policeman himself knows that this is a matter of life and death. The policeman himself knows that if he doesn't deal with the matter it can also affect him. This is the time that if you look at the posture of His Excellency the President, the kasamu, the way now and has been able to carry the nation along, say this is not a partisan program. Time na food no. The president gave a very strong directive. Say, as you take the food, give the food to NADMO officials to go and share the food. Finito. No other party, whether you are a member of parliament, parliamentary candidate, party person, was involved in the sharing of food. The president directive has encouraged all of us to look at this issue in not the usual partisan spectacle now. Because you see how Ghana who percent we be now dodgy now party assembly. I don't remember the last time we discussed even party matters. You know, now party once. COVID-19 I said it's a matter that obiha. So I do not think that the policeman will be discouraged in any way. In fact, there is no assemblyman. That assemblyman or through. That assemblyman also, that party person also. Me, I've been on the front line since day one. I have gone everywhere. They behind me, nanti be coming. Sometimes now me drink a crack. Now COVID, but I've been taking good care of myself. Just this week, I want to voluntarily test myself to see whether I'm negative or positive. It's very important. Say, we now at the front line now. We no bar. Say, we so
Sasa we about you know pa sense a voluntary testing no. I idea my full say. You be shani aka ho asem sense Ghana Health Service for can say omo be ye mass testing the whole Ghana. But unfortunately, maintain once in be until no nya wadwuma no. Me ma yenhwe ye ma yenhwe yamra kakra.
Okay.
I'm say COVID-19 there you go so ye nyina ye me police in catch me say Jakabna one day anyway is a brand picture that became my brother or say next me share.
They are doing well. They are doing well.
And police for there they be America ye wura upon bueno IGP e be obi a me bo abaso no wadwuma e for no e bi ye adwuma niti true ene wo ma night duty no wo ma night no wo mo ye adwuma pa anti ye beda wo mo ase wo na ma mi bisaw Accra say money ada me ye wo ada sub metros net etisa ye efi I me ye ho something say.
So I think that generally you would see the sanitation situation has improved and there are reasons for that. At the time now a year lockdown, the Ministry of Sanitation led by the Minister Honorable Cecilia Abnandapa now we should take advantage of the lockdown. Now bibia na ye who say efi ewa ye efrio because a year lockdown. Inti a 3 days of clean up exercise, massive one ewo. Then you call moto winsu eko ye ebisu ewo. At the time now a year ewo we are doing same thing also ewo Kumasi. Inti by the time nipa be back Roma now we say aye kama. But let me also say nipa no do na obankra no enu na egenuity the refuse no. At the moment those who come to Accra are not as many as before. Inti ubahu say generally the situation of waste management in Accra has improved. I must say the Minister for Sanitation is leading the task of just making sure we step up the effort, and not only in this COVID time, but because COVID, the sanitation is hygiene, but as we move on now, making sure we put in place all the measures to make sure enura kra unanti wo kuba mo hu say trailer kese because we hired a service provider to make sure say equipment so back room na ye adwuma ewo everywhere enura kra na me de omu ewo Madina ho na omu ye adwuma didindin won say you trailers back room na ye adwuma nti sanitation situation is improving because the Ministry of Sanitation is getting people more to bring more equipment, and secondly so nipa dodo no mo back room no omo ndosu because nipa back room bebia omo no generate refuse bebre
woma eto say bola kire say bebom de bola ndo kwa gugu kura no ayasem landfill site no ti say no ebi ni ho abanso de omoka enti ne sesa no ayo hawo enti make say covid-19 no kwa boa kakra esan say ebo enti na fini nko bebre yenye fini bebre enti say yenye fini bebre na sa service providers omo say enwira yi omo complain say bebi omo hwe enwira na gu no ebi ni ho aban de omo ka no enti do bebi ayen sesa no.
Okay, so there was a problem for last week, but it's been resolved. Your landfill site, government landfill site, landfill site, the main landfill site is as I speak to you since August, still at the moment. Inti aka kitwa bi, inti those of us here won kran, yemfa bola enkopum bi, pon pumfo tema any ashamafo anamudi omobola ekokpo because sisia ho kitwa. Those here won kran, yedi bola eko adepa any insumia ninya ewo nsawan echi nti wakakra but ho na yedi ball akọ ho private company who onu landfill site no but yetuaka aban tuaka na yenya problem kakra but it's been resolved, you know. Until last week we say ye proper kromba who said there was heaps small but it's been resolved so unanti kroma na embasa
one ye mayor e won kran ha me very particular eba ahunidi hu nsem a obekai e wrasel famankwa na isusu no yeti ni din won kran ha
sure
yeti ura yiti mensa papa J time obebo adwuma na ura Ajiri Blankson on so be adwuma na me papa de bia me ka se Dr. Abojo se wo predecessor
yeah
yes and wo trend no afibia said the idea netie no saa na eko ensesada boss me boss we ba me ye we ade obeko no that the same problem is there we be ko be the same problem is there idea pa na wo.
Well, I think, sir, and I'm happy you have Kasa because I have studied the trend. I have studied all my predecessors. They were very fantastic people from Honorable E.T. Minsan through Natnunu Amate Few and Ajiri Branson and Marpid. Omunyamu were very fantastic. They were very passionate about the job that they were doing, but there were some fundamental issues. One, it's lack of adequate resources to invest in that sector. That's the bottom line. Because I keep saying we don't lack ideas.
We do.
We don't lack ideas. It is
the resources.
It is the resources.
Bola here I can wasem you know. Obi or maybe at the generative sika bebre.
So let me also. So that's what I'm saying, sir. We don't lack ideas. It is the resources that we don't have enough to be able to invest in. Bolasem, it's capital intensive, and you have to decide. But you see, we have not thought of Bolasem in a very holistic way, because in 2015, for instance, yemfa bola over a period of time. Yenya cholera ewo krom affecting over 20,000 people. Over 184 people to 200 people omuwu ewon kran as a result of bola wasem. So bolasem a public health matter. It helps even to reduce your expenditure on health. It reduces your expenditure on a lot of things as well. And Nuntina, His Excellency the President has also created the Ministry of Sanitation. So the Ministry of Sanitation is spearheading, overhauling the whole sanitation system to make sure, say, you're putting in place a very sustainable way of dealing with the matter. Because the knee-jerk approach, not your call your back, has not helped us. And that has been the fighting of Bola Asem over the last couple of years. I must say, sir, the ministry, you may assume, so, take time kakra, but you see, you need to think through the issues properly to be able to prosecute it, because there's always the tendency now be a show. Oh, now my say now wako. But it hasn't helped, it has not been successful, and that's how come you can quote from Honorable Yiti Minsan throughout up to today, say the same issues persist up to now. We are quite hopeful with the system that we are putting in place and the plan that we are putting in place. It's going to help in making sure, say, it's good, not a big yet a Juman in a very sustainable way. Now, one of the things there is, for instance, in your landfill side, landfill is a big problem. Sometimes, over the years, for instance, rainy season here, but even our landfills now, they are not engineer landfill site. Enti se inso etoa I will not be able to track no ntimi ko. Sometimes you track beko a na aka ana abeye bebia. Una wo nkra. Unnim se o me track no akonya problem. But it's not your even concern. It is the responsibility of my assembly and then the state to make sure say sa landfill site no e will be.
Ankra bi ama individuals organization could be ama say let's manage the waste.
Yeah, but you can get private person to manage it, but it's a state responsibility.
Yes, but then
everywhere in the world, the state contributes heavily towards sanitation. It is not a private need, because even those who are doing waste to energy, say private person or investing into waste, not the energy, the state have to guarantee say you will buy the energy. So what you are saying, because you have to buy, else what is his benefit? The benefit is the fact that or you waste to sell the energy to you so that obetimi are recouping invest. They are not philanthropists. So the investment in the sanitation sector, it is essential to make sure say yebenya and I'm happy say His Excellency the President
honorable minimum say ene kanko ne yonko ye kan yeti aye kan nyina me say eme ye say mama ye nyi video bi a ye chemu na bridge ebu ye nwira ne efia na anka eko efia na enam ho ene tete sa ye kan nyina no ye be kan dedede fefefe na so be wiase no ade kro no a ade e bekom ade na be se this time around e say ye wo May mu meboa June na ebe yi ye got ase nyina ye ntiti mu afi na se yetiti mu enti so no beto na yetiti mu na say the Old Testament in na mu sa
so that's why I think that you are leading to the flooding situations that are happening. Last year we were, and I may see one of the key things to invest in is in our drainage system. And we invest in the drains because our water bodies and our drains have become reservoirs for debris and Bola SM a war. And Honorable Atachian's ministry is leading in that. Fortunately, last year, His Excellency the President invested heavily into it. But you see, it's all about budget. The money is big, but ejumana ebeyenuso and and so it's not that huge. Let me give you an example. From First Light to Obeche Bilanti, don't go far. First Light, now there's an underground drain every the Odokoni na eba. That underground drain is 8 meters wide. But your drain being so every Odoko official town area, na efa Accra Academy. Edru Accra Kanama na reduce into 1 meter. So 8 meter.
Never do 1 meter.
Never do 1 meter.
The volume no ebebu afaso.
So anytime it rains,
ebu faso.
First light this is an engineering defect. Today, as I speak to you, the Ministry of Sanitation through the Gamma project, widen into 8 meter. In Sotoa,
just speed in there, but the same speed in there from Marco.
Just about two and a half weeks ago, in Sotoa for more than 4.5 hours, and now 5 hours.
It is somewhere prepared the power this time around.
Well, we have done what we could do, and I'm just trying to tell you some of the things. Another area, Obechebi, say ye bridge be Obechebi, flyover be but before no there's a drain also that connects all the companies near that area, Nizan, Gamut, they had even complained to us since 2015 after the flooding. Say there's no insurance company no person insure because a flood prone area. So every time Renault today, Excellency the President, why yet sa drain and now work heavy papa na echo. As a result of that, we didn't experience any flooding. I'm just giving you some example. It doesn't mean that we have solved all the problems, but I'm just saying that the investment in that capital projects now and nuna the solution to the problem. So Ufa Royal House Chapel, a honswa, a call Audome, ye babe ye honswa. Then you have been able to solve the problem of flooding in a particular area around that site. These are the basic and fundamental things that I say, and it requires huge investment. We've started the investment in those areas. If previous governments, I'm not saying NDC or MPP, but they are able to foresee the future. Say in is, the city is growing, and for that matter, we must also expand the volume and of infrastructure. Now a year dreams now, and I'm sure say
kakaka do be a yekono. Me say me de meka sem bi ansa na yapon. Ye be pon ande sa. But meka sem bi na asem na meka no meka no e wo efi yawo mu na me de beka asem no.
I see.
Ansa na asore. Ehifa na wo gidi say problem wo pa. Insutobri bay. Edena moye edena wo mati area hon so no ese omo so omo ahoboa be na so omo ye.
Well, I think sir, one of the things is also about our attitude. I don't think sir uwo krom uwo baller you so toa then ufa baller
now they about to go them
now they about to go
ma me ka se bi kuma me am kuma se got aketo bi obe me more area ni din na enso to na ma park car ana na metika ni ma me so obi din fridge
fridge
got ani ka se nyina be sei nti so no to na got na ayiri no and ode ne fridge asay no me so wo pia fridge ana mo beto.
My goodness.
Oh, it be see fam and nothing so me hu nyina for be ko so fridge no mo na be friend so no amra no friend nko for na ye nyina. You see enti attitude na wo ka no na be de twa adwene susu se hwe COVID-19 ba yi obi ahohoro ne nsa obi a nose mask ne hwene. That means he say CSC mrane be adwuma e betumi aye adwuma. So why don't we take this opportunity? Say ye beka say emra we ne ye share this time around no ye share some mra we say mra we ne dia ba obi bi obebusu bia no ba ye twa na so enti no eden na ebeden de be dia fa ho
emra no de
ewo enti enforcement
but yes but you see sometimes musumbe be boy you see when we become easy target uko aha no say eho ayefe then you attack the assembly instead of those omoye ehofi. So those omoye ehofi they think that they have done something
assembly
right.
No brutal they responsibility
I understand but the assembly is not ubiquitous. The assembly no eho nyobia you are part of the assembly.
Sure.
In every city, and I keep saying that in every city, every country, now Obahun say a man who a certain direction, it means it's a collective orientation or mindful no dream and to say this is the direction we want to go. It is not because if you walk on the streets of any city in Europe or in America, you don't see police people checking people say whether you have udi bola agua and udi bola agua. So I think the social responsibility, the civic responsibility of so as human beings and citizens of this nation, yes, so exactly.
Honorable Muhammad Ajay Sowa AME boss Medasi.
Is Medasi.
I brand to be say a friend no Sadat Bastonzi or say Minuano one and Tafuana. Minuano no Yimiama. And I'm a question and I'm a see, you better Sonia, but no one Jamaican say. Nyakopon ka se mi kire Israelfo no bra na mo kobo hyasase so say in fear duana a mo ko no so obi na baby na so gya ne nan a onko nwire mu no nko to amena ojago mu wi a onkata so enti ye mra enhye tietia ye mpeni fa hodo e ba nyina de bia meka owura yiti mensa owura agire blankson me salutu omo pa they try their best ye wura boju say me I'm not demeaning you though me can't wait there say na me from I am de keke wo mu nyina ye sanke ye nyina de ho den etaw machi a anke do bebe ye duri enti covid-19 you know etumi hu say ehoro ye sa bibia sanitizer no nipa dodo na anim but no obiara nim sanitizer obiara no say so din so horo nsa obiara no social nose mask social distance amafo osua enti why can't we use this opportunity sat bia ye omu yen fanse saniema eto ji ye na bidin jeja kwabre he wa ya do mo ebe hia da mo nyina se e ma mu ni hwe